Thumb to butt, pledge of allegiance. Do you want to get better at kettlebell cleans? Here is how. I teach the affiliate level. I like to teach cues that stick with athletes. Thumb to butt, pledge of allegiance are two things that both male and females understand and how to get into the correct position for both the hinge and where the kettlebell should end at the end of the movement. So starting without the kettlebell first, I always teach it without because again, it's important to get the right body positions before we worry about additional load or intensity. So Drew, you're gonna hinge at the waist and thumb to butt. Good. In this position here, we'll notice the shins are vertical, the hips are back, midline's nice and flat, and he's really burying his thumb into his butt. The lower that kettlebell goes, the more it pulls on the lower back and the less optimally we can use our hips to extend and get that kettlebell in the right position. Now from here, Drew is simply gonna stand or extend his hips and do the Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance, as you remember from grade school, gets your hand across your chest, which is exactly where the kettlebell should be in a kettlebell clean. So as Drew goes through, let's go just through 2 slow reps. I want you just to mime it with just your empty hand first. So thumb to butt, stands up, Pledge of Allegiance. Back to thumb to butt, Pledge of Allegiance. Now, one thing that Drew might not recognize yet is that when he extends his hip and he brings his arm up to his body, it's coming up nice and close. That Pledge of Allegiance is almost like playing the air guitar. And that's important because if Drew were to send that forearm away from his body, the kettlebell's gonna go out and around, slap him on the wrist, and it's gonna make for a really clunky catch of the clean. So when Drew's ready, I'm gonna have him grab that kettlebell and he's gonna practice. Let's go 3 reps. Good. And at first you might notice the turnover's a little clunky. And that's usually because the athlete is over gripping the kettlebell. Keep it nice and loose. If you find yourself turning it over far away, it's gonna slap you. And another reason that happens too is because athletes like to death grip the kettlebell. So as Drew does that one more time, we're gonna notice that if we focus specifically on the hand, that Drew doesn't actually have to have a closed grip at all. He can actually keep his hand a little bit open as it comes up. Go ahead and give us 3. And notice that his hands are mostly open as he goes through the movement. That allows the hand to pivot around the bell itself. Now, when you're looking to take a single kettlebell clean into a double kettlebell clean, go ahead and relax, Drew. You can do the same drill again. You can mime it at first. The key feature here is that when the extension of the hips happens, those thumbs basically trace belly button to sternum and end on either side of your breastbone, so your sternum here. So now as Drew grabs 2 kettlebells, his goal is to go through that same range of motion, thumb to butt, Pledge of Allegiance without his hand going all the way across over to his heart. So go ahead, Drew. Good. Last one. Good. Last bit about this is that when we get to that proper front rack position, ideally we want those knuckles as close together as possible in the middle of the chest as opposed to out here. As soon as we begin to hang the dumbbells off the side of our shoulders, if we have to go overhead with them next, when we dip, those kettlebells are actually gonna go lower, making that jerk or push press significantly harder. So it's very important that as you catch the kettlebell clean, that the bell itself sits in the crook of the elbow, again, allowing you to transfer energy from your hips through your shoulders into the overhead position. So again, when it comes time to do the kettlebell cleans again, think thumb to butt, Pledge of Allegiance, and you'll have a lot better success with those kettlebell clean and jerks.